It is no secret that the Greater Toronto Area is currently facing a housing crisis. As of 2020, the rental vacancy rate in Toronto is 1.5%, which is lower than the 3% considered healthy for urban centres. Not only that, but since 2007, the subsidized housing waitlist has increased by 68%, while available units have remained unchanged. The situation has only been made worse by soaring housing market that has caused rental prices to increase by up to 140%. As a result of this lack of affordable, safe housing, people are forced into housing so costly it compromises their food security, healthcare needs, and educational prospects, or housing overcrowded or badly maintained. According to the Canadian Observatory on Homelessness, 35,000 individuals experience homelessness on any given night. Enter RentShare, a social innovation that aims to address this growing need. RentShare will share in the cost of finishing homeowners' basements, extra units, or apartments in exchange for renting it as affordable housing for at least 5 years. Landlords would only pay between 25 to 50% of the cost on a sliding scale and would also get to keep the rental income once the property is complete. However, part of the agreement would be that the rent is based on a rent geared to income model of no more than 30% of a tenant's income. Another part of the agreement would include paying the full cost of the renovation plus interest for landlords who decide to sell a property or rent it for market rate. RentShare aims to 1. Increase the supply of affordable rental properties. 2. Ensure properties are safe and up to code. 3. Reduce homelessness and the demand on shelters by partnering with shelters and Housing First agencies. By partnering with shelters and Housing First agencies such as Loft, we will ensure there are tenants ready to move in. These partnerships would allow us to assist those who are most vulnerable and at a higher risk of chronic homelessness to sustain their housing through the supports provided by the caseworkers and mental health professionals who work at these agencies. This is because Housing First has been proven to work, with studies showing that 80% of those who receive Housing First services remained housed after the first year. To make sure we're meeting our goals, we will survey the landlords and tenants to determine their satisfaction. We will also keep record of the length of stay of our tenants and their employment and overall mental and physical well-being. We'll also keep record of the amount of support needed and duration of that support, as well as the number of individuals referred from shelters and the cost saved by providing housing rather than shelter. To get RentShare started, we will apply for funding from the CMHC Co-Investment Fund. Once we're up and running, RentShare has the potential to become sustainable through the payments made by landlords that can then be used to fund other renovations and even grow to renovate bigger projects such as buildings. We will also partner with local contractors and builders who can provide free or low-cost services in exchange for tax receipts and brand recognition. And finally, we will partner with colleges to provide co-op and employment opportunities for skilled labor. Housing is a human right that is critical to a person's health, dignity, safety, inclusion, and contribution to their community. It even makes sense from an economic perspective. According to the City of Toronto, it costs on average $2,250 for a single shelter bed and services in Toronto, while it only costs $306 to subsidize each unit of Toronto's social housing. Without appropriate housing, it is hard to get a job or keep a job, have access to healthcare, have proper sanitation, recover from mental illness, and get children into schools. So join us in addressing our city's housing crisis by making RentShare a reality.
Created using Powtoon.